Well, hello there, humans, it's Earthlings, wherever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the brand new full auto mod DMRs. I made a video about this, bemoaning it. I did have a bit of a moan. I just think it's a bad road for the game to be going down. And since I made that video about the weapons as they were in beta, they've actually been nerfed a little more. The auto mod has anyway, so they fire a little bit slower now. And this is full auto mini, and it's quite slow compared to tap fire mini, which is this. Like, it's not comparable. Well, you can compare them, but they're not close. The full auto mini just is not as quick as someone tap firing a mini, and someone tap firing a mini is far more effective than the full auto mini. And my worry was that the full auto mod would come in and it would take the place of real skill engagement. The dynamic kind of gameplay where being able to tap fire your weapon is a skill. And it hasn't. It hasn't taken the place of those things at all. In fact, it's really annoying that I find myself with the mini just being really conservative with my tap firing when I'm using the full auto mod, because the full auto mod actually minimizes the amount of your single shot taps. Like, you can't tap a full auto mod to go faster than it can actually go when you're holding the button down, which makes the weapons far less effective. I tried it on all the DMRs, and the only gun I found it to be of any value on really was the SKS. It turned the SKS into a weapon that if you put it at 3x or even 4x mode, you can easily spray an SKS with the right kind of equipment. It also, this is the SKS, it's quite effective like this. It also made the SKS, something interesting I found anyway, was that the best attachment for the SKS is the ergonomic grip. Like, you want to have a stable spraying machine. So you want an ergonomic grip and a muzzle brake. You actually don't really want to use a vertical grip, because the settings for the SKS when you're using full auto mod, and all these weapons indeed, are far more reliant on ADS sensitivity, whereas ADS sensitivity is a smaller part of the tap fire package. If you've got tap fire sensitivity on a mini and you use full auto mini, it's not the same at all. You've got to adjust your sensitivity settings to make it correct. So I really found it to be a bit of a waste, and that's unfortunate. I think there is something to be said for the amount of work that the PUBG devs go to try and get the game balanced and to try and keep the game in a nice place and the weapon balanced in a nice place. And we all know it's a bit of a meme now, it's flogging a dead horse, but they won't touch the M416 spray meta. It's not just the M416, by the way. It's the AUG, it's the SCAR, it's the QBZ95, it's the G36C. The whole idea that you can just spray weapons means that people don't bother using these DMRs. So to try and entice people to use these weapons, they've made them spray weapons, which is dumb. I mean, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense to the players, for the people who are putting the hard yards in, because no one does this stuff intending it to be a bad idea, right? But it's just not the way to do this. It really isn't the way to reward this. And the Mark 12 particularly, I mean, I don't understand why this gun is now on all maps. It's not a great gun. It's a pre-buff Mini 14. Like, this is what the Mini 14 used to be like, but you can mount an attachment on it, and it just doesn't have the same damage as the Mini 14. Like, if you're hitting these shots with the Mini, those guys are off the bike. But the Mark 12's just not got that big boom. It doesn't have a lot of recoil though, but you can tap fire these weapons faster. And if you're a thumb player, this may be for you. If you're a thumb player who just wants to use a DMR, this actually could be something that you're looking at and going, it's handy. But as it is, it's just such a nonsense reaction. You're spending 5 coins of in-game loot. One, why can't these just be well-drop items? Why can't they just be items that you can decide whether or not you want to pick up on the ground, instead of making you go and buy them? If you're balancing a weapon based on stuff you're buying in the shop, it becomes crazy. Like you're balancing the gun based on what you're buying in the shop, and having like the SLR is so bad. Like, do not use the SLR with a full auto. You basically want to treat the SLR a bit like a sniper rifle, and just do the full auto thing when you can. Like, I fire the SLR very much like it's a tap fire sniper rifle. When you're firing it with the full auto mod, oh my god, this thing has so much recoil. It will just go absolutely nowhere. It's not the gun for the full auto. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I had to actually stop and adjust the recoil for a lot of these guns on the fly because they were not working out at all with my standard sensitivity settings. And they needed to be readjusted to new DMR sensitivity settings. And I had to actually set like a whole bunch of new stuff up for the SLR and such. You can see really pumping up the sensitivity settings for the full auto mod. And that sucks. That really sucks. You don't want to be balancing different weapons with different sensitivities just based on one thing. And I mean, SLR is just not a gun that you want to be spraying. Where to? I really hope we don't end up with something like a mutant with a full auto mod that makes it really, really effective. Again, there's better ways of balancing these weapons. Like, there's just better ways of balancing these weapons. And whether it... I'm beating a dead horse, but just nerf sprays. Take sprays out of the take spraying out of the equation. If you couldn't spray an M416 or a Scar L effectively at, 150 meters, then these weapons would actually be things that might bear using in this kind of setting. But you can. And you can also use them far more efficiently in all kinds of other roles, like CQC. Because you can tap fire these things so much faster than the full auto mods will give you. You'll see how I gave up full auto firing with the SLR and just used it with the candid sight red dot instead. It was way better because you get some aim assist into that as well, and that helps the gun tremendously. Yeah, SKS is the only one I would consider running the full auto mod on. The rest, QBU, etc., just tap them. Just tap fire the guns. You can tap fire them so much faster. There's no recoil on the Mini 14 anyway. Just tap fire the Mini 14. Like, I honestly am at a loss as to why this has become a pathway that we're traveling down. It's such a huge amount of waffle for absolutely no return. Like, there is a tiny, tiny portion of the player base that will get any value out of this. Tell me you wouldn't be better off with an M416 or a Scar L there, just spraying that guy straight out of the car. What about his... nice ping, buddy. Nice ping. Like, tell me you wouldn't be better off with those guns. Just absolutely rinsing people straight out of the car. Yeah. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you look after yourselves. Stay safe on that battlefield. Lots more coming. I'm in Europe at the moment. And until next time.